What's up, guys? Let's make an update on the price of Bitcoin. So basically we're still in the same sideways price action, and there are two possible patterns here. You remember we were looking at the potential head and shoulders formation, but we didn't even touch the neckline. So yeah, with this trend line it was a pullback, and which actually led to this major pump above $7,000 to something like $7,300 on BitMax. And despite of that, we returned back to the zone below 7,000 and still are within this triangular formation. It is almost an ascending triangle, which technically should be broken most likely to the upside, but first of all we have the downtrend preceding this triangle, and also if you'll draw this line on the candles shadows, then you would see it is not really the triangle but almost like a wedge here, which an ascending wedge which usually is broken to the downside. And again, the preceded downwards movement led to the conclusion that it's again most likely to the broken downside. However, this is a short-term thing, and I would say that we went above this area, this $7,000, to collect the liquidity here, but it was very short, and technically I still think that it's reasonable to go above $7,500, maybe to $8,000, to test the liquidity above this area, which we were talking about probably in this zone at this time as well. Also we have this trend line from the previous highs, and yeah, it would be nice to test this trend line, maybe even make a fake breakout before moving down. Why I don't think that it is possible that we will go to the upside at the moment is that I still believe that although yes, we have this higher lows and so on, but technically, if this is a bottom, we need to have a long-term accumulation in the zone around the bottom, like maybe $5,600. So I still think that it's very likely that we'll go back to that zone and continue to oscillate around that price level. However, one thing I shall point out today in the long term, namely the fact that we had this huge increase in the capitalization of Tether. And you might say that what's about it? Well, basically, during the previous rise of the price of Bitcoin in beginning of 2019, we had also huge increase in the capitalization of Tether, and moreover, we had a very nice correlation between the price of Bitcoin and the Tether capitalization. When after the pump of the capitalization of Tether, we had the pump of Bitcoin after something like four weeks, and it was continuing over and over again. So very, very nice correlation. And in fact, although this was not the real rise, because it was some kind of a bug in terms of the new coins taken into account, but this seemed to be real. So a lot of Tether got printed, and of course, if it would lead to the fact that the price of Bitcoin also would rise, but it doesn't mean that it will happen like tomorrow or day after tomorrow, next week, but maybe like after 1 month or something like that. If those people who are printing Tether believe that okay, there's a bottom in Bitcoin and we need to buy a lot of Bitcoin, accumulate it, and eventually pump the price, so this is the sign of their intentions. Of course, nothing is set in stone. Maybe it's just a bull trap. This is also possible, but still we shall pay attention to that. And at the same time, I should point out this thing about the global markets, the traditional assets, because recently Bitcoins follows these traditional assets price moves fairly well, and we might expect that it will happen again. And in that case, we shall look at what happens with traditional assets in general. Like this is S&P 500 chart. You see that we had a lot of the very long bull market here, with this trend line get tested several times, and always we had the pullback quite fast. But recently we not only had a very huge drop, which is like below all the possible limits for the potential like short-term correction definition, but This time we also actually dropped below this trend line, and this month got opened below this trend line as well. So it's a very, very bearish sign in my opinion. And also we got like this overextended bull market for a very long time. So yeah, I think it might be the very nice time to make a very, very huge drop and continue to go lower. And if you will follow the wave theories, Elliott wave theory, then you would be potentially looking at this 1-5 count with 1, 2, 3, 4 waves already existing, and maybe this is the 5th wave right now. Of course, it could be just like 1, 2, 3 wave, correction wave, but then we need to go above this area, above this low. If it doesn't happen, if this number 4 doesn't go above 1, then more likely we will go lower with this wave 5. Of course, it's not possible to guess where it will stop, maybe 1800 or something like that, but there are two major levels here. 2100, this is the support resistance previously, and 1500, like multi-year, now it is support, previously resistance. So we might go to either of those, and in that case I would bet that Bitcoin also will follow the behavior of these major traditional markets, and then I guess that we might see a much lower price than $4,000, and it will go, well, I don't know, $2, $3, maybe $1,000. It's really very, very possible because of all the markets going down. So Bitcoin most likely will follow. But so far, with the short term, what I would still continue to look at is the price reaching something like $7,500 and maybe even $8,000. And at that point, I would probably look at the potential of the short, because again, it's overextended. A lot of the oscillators and technical indicators are approaching the overbought territory. So I would guess that it's reasonable to expect the pullback. I will try to do that, and again, I will continue to update you on Telegram and Twitter on my trade on SnapX. Links in the description. So go ahead and follow if you want. So far, it is really risky in my opinion to make trades right now, because again, a lot of liquidity in this area, a lot of liquidity in this area. It's quite unpredictable in which point, to which direction we'll go first. But yeah, we need to look at the major levels of support and resistance, and we'll see. So far, guys, that is it for today, and thank you for watching. I hope that it was useful. See you in the next video. Goodbye.